What's good, everybody? Today I want to talk about something a little different than what I've done on this channel. It's not one of your typical motivational speeches. It's actually probably the opposite of that. I want to talk about anxiety and depression and kind of how that can relate to and affect, work, life, and relationships. And I want to talk about it because this is something that I'm just realizing that I've been struggling with since I moved up here for the job, and I'm just coming to terms with it, and I want to talk about it. But before we do that, you already know what we got to do. We're gonna roll this intro.
Have you ever felt?
Are you listening? Damn. Yeah.
My name is Hameen Phillips, and you're watching the Sticky Web Domains channel. And before we go into this topic, you guys already know I gotta have my coffee. I haven't had it yet, and one thing that definitely makes me feel better and ready to go is that cup of coffee. So I guess I'll meet you there. So I'm at one of my favorite local coffee spots, and as you can see, I have the peppermint mocha. That's what I'm talking about. This is how I get my energy for the day. All right, so let's dive right into the conversation of anxiety and depression and how it affects work and life. So let's do it. So, as you guys already know, if you've been following my last videos, that I moved away for my job on the railroad. And at the time, I didn't really know the effect that all the changes in my life had on me, or the fact that it was almost like a shock to my body and my brain or something, because all of a sudden I'm in a new location, new job, and I feel like it just caused anxiety. And I never had like a history of anxiety or depression or anything, but I realized, once I got out here and I was doing, living in a new area, a new job, that anxiety was starting to basically take its toll on me. But at the time, I just wasn't aware of what it was or what was happening, because it was, new feelings and it was all new to me. But I knew that something didn't exactly feel right. Like it wasn't me, I had a rough breakup about a year and a half ago, which caused almost a series of events. And within that is when I basically took a break from running my online business, which is, as you might already know, if you've been watching my videos, Sticky Web Domains. I was selling electronics on eBay and things like that. So after the breakup, I decided I wanted to pretty much get away and just, reinvent myself. And at that time, I applied for the railroad. I did my research. I cast a wide net, just like all of you guys have done, I'm sure. And eventually I ended up landing a job on the railroad. And, I had to move away for that job. And over time, I guess there were little signs that I was really suffering from anxiety. And, and I'm not talking about the kind of anxiety like social anxiety, because of course, I'm okay with being around a lot of people and, things like that. I don't know. It was almost like just being anxious all the time. And it was just an anxiety that I never really experienced. And I guess I started to notice that when it came time to taking a test for the railroad, and in just the learning phase, during my 17 weeks of training, I was really struggling to get through it. And at that time, I didn't realize that, I was suffering from anxiety, which had a lot to do with that. So yeah, it took me a while to really comprehend that. But if any of you guys can relate to that, let me know in the comment section. If you ever experience a sudden change in your life that caused you to maybe all of a sudden have anxiety or depression or something that wasn't, really you, let me know in the comments if you can relate to what I'm talking about. So yeah, that's when I really started to realize something was different. But then also I started having days where I just wasn't okay. I wasn't exactly happy, and I guess I was dealing with some form of depression, and I didn't realize that, because like I said, this was all new to me, and this is something I've never experienced. So, and I think a lot of it just had a lot to do with being like homesick and just missing my kids and my family back home. So, on top of the anxiety, I was dealing with the depression and dealing with just being in a new location and a new job and trying to take all that in. And that was really, all together, it was really putting a huge toll on me. And it was hard to really understand what was happening. I didn't really get it. I probably should have, gotten therapy a while back when that whole breakup occurred, and I had to deal with so many changes. But I didn't, I was always that type of person that felt like, I can get through it on my own. I don't need to go to therapy for anything, and it's just not me. I'm just not, I always felt like I was a strong type of person that can just get through anything. But, when something in your life changes drastically, sometimes it's hard for you to cope and get through phases of your life by yourself. And I didn't really confide in anybody about what I was going through, and I realize now that I should have dealt with it, because now, I feel like everything is hitting me all at once. So I just came to terms with this a couple days ago, and I started seeing signs of just wanting to isolate myself from friends and family, and just want to be alone and not want to be around people, and just literally, be honest, almost felt like the sunken place. If you ever watched the movie Get Out, the guy goes into the sunken place and he's in this dark place and he's screaming and he's doing everything, but he just can't do anything. Almost, that's what it feels like the sunken place. And I'm just realizing that even though I don't feel like I have a reason to be depressed or anything, that what I'm going through is a form of depression. And I guess it's hard to see the signs if you're not really used to being in that space, that, being in that situation. So, some days I would wake up and for no reason, I just was not happy. I was not okay. I just felt like crap. And I had no reason to feel that way. And it's hard to really get up and go to work or film a video or do anything. You just don't feel good inside. And at my age, I just never thought I would go through this kind of thing. But it literally can happen to anyone. And I've had friends that dealt with this kind of issue, and I just never thought I would be dealing with it. And so I just wanted to kind of make this video to bring out that awareness that anxiety and depression, it is real and anybody can go through it, even if you've never been through it before. And it's okay. And you should talk to someone and realize what you're going through and accept it and try to get help for it. So, I just thought I would make this video to kind of let you guys know something I've been struggling with for a while, and I'm trying to fix it. But if you guys can relate, please don't hesitate to talk to friends and family, or just get therapy for it and get yourself feeling better. So if you guys like this video, hit that like button below. Also, share this video if you think that this information can help anyone that you know. Feel free to share it. And last but not least, subscribe. If you guys have not already subscribed to the channel, subscribe today and hit that alerter bell so you know when I upload or when I go live. I'm going to enjoy the rest of this coffee, and I guess I'll see you guys on the rails. Peace.